Hey guys, what's up? And thanks for tuning back into the channel. Much appreciated. Just going to do a late night video here. Just been really busy today and just finally got the kids into bed and got to get these videos out when I have some free time here and there. If you guys have got kids, you understand. We got 4 kids to take care of, and it's never a spare second to spare anywhere around here. So anyway, I'm going to do today's video, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to do one today that I've been really wanting to do a long time, and it just so happened to be yesterday. I had a suggestion by one of the subscribers about having a conversation on water clarity. And if you guys have, if you're around me much at all, I mean, if you guys, the people that I talk to, or when I'm communicating in different type of correspondence, like with some of the member, requests, that type of stuff, I always refer to and ask what the water clarity is, because in my opinion, and we're going to do videos on all these at some point, that if you understand and know what the water visibility is, the water temperature, and the water level in a lake, those, in my opinion, are the 3 most important elements. And if you tell me that, I don't care where, you can set me down, you can blindfold me, put me in any state in the United States that there is that has lakes that have bass in it, and if you just put me out on the lake that I've never seen before, and you give me those 3 bits of information, tell me what the water clarity is, the water temperature, and the water level versus above or below normal, that I can pretty much piece together what I need to be doing. So what I want to talk to you about specifically today is water clarity, and the importance of it, and have a little discussion about it. So when you're talking about, and it's hard to just talk about one of those 3 elements without including the other ones, because when you're talking about water clarity, you also have to need to know the water temperature and the water level that goes with it in order to make an accurate assessment on how you need to be fishing. But I'm going to try to keep it isolated specifically to water clarities. And what I want to try to do with this, and this is something I could sit and talk for hours about it, but I'm going to try to condense it a little bit and sort of give you a foundation of what to begin with. I'm sort of going to go through the 4 seasons pretty quickly here and tell you what I'm looking for as far as different water clarities. So let's start right off the bat. We'll just go winter, spring, summer. Oh, let's start spring. We'll go spring, summer, winter, fall. Go through those 3 particular things. Okay, in the springtime of the year, here's the thing about water clarities. Water clarities are gonna, and this is the same on any season we're talking about. Water temperatures or water clarities is going to dictate basically a lot about the techniques that you use in that particular one. What you're going to find out, and this is pretty basic 101 stuff here, is the dirtier the water, the more the bass rely on sound and vibration in order to feed on. And as the water gets a little bit clearer, they start to use a combination of those senses. They start to use the vibration and the sound, and they start to use, the actual visual sight part of it. And if you've got extremely clear water, on both ends of the spectrum, say you've got water visibilities of 2 inches, those bass are going to be almost exclusively feeding on vibration and sound. If you got water clarity over 10 foot or over 15 feet, a lot of those fish are going to be feeding exclusively on sight, or a little bit on noise too, depending upon the wind conditions. So in the springtime of the year, the variables that you have out there are anywhere between 2 inches to 15 plus feet. For the most part, in the springtime of the year, if I'm fishing off-color, dirty water, and those water temperatures are anywhere near that 60-degree mark, I'm fishing basically, spinner baits, chatter baits, jigs, soft plastic lures, those type of lures that, will put out some vibration, that have a little bit of bulk to it. And I gradually make an adjustment into a little bit more subtle lures. If that water clarity, gets a little bit, greater on there, instead of picking up a jig, I might go to a full-size jig, I might go to a finesse jig, or I might go to a shaky head or something like that. And instead of a spinner bait, I might transition a little bit, maybe into a wacky rig or floating worm. Things that, really are more sight oriented and that telegraph themselves less. Most of the time, because you're dealing with a little bit shallower water. In the summertime of the year, as you move into there, again, water clarities have a big impact. And in the summertime of the year, you have a combination of both, some deep patterns, some shallow water patterns as well. In the summertime of the year, you're going to find out that the water clarities, if you want summertime shallow water fishing, most of the time you need to look for the dirtier water clarity. If I'm wanting to fish shallow cover, docks, laydowns, bushes, that type of stuff, I'm seeking the dirtiest water in the lake, because the dirtier the water when it's warm in the summertime of the year, it puts more fish shallow. If I'm fishing offshore, say I'm fishing ledges, say I'm fishing deep points, deep brush piles, I don't want to go to the most dirty part of the lake. I want to go to the part of the lake that maybe not is the cleanest or the gin clear, but I want to go into that area of the lake where I've got more visibility, and the fish are using more water columns, because the clearer the water gets, the more diversity and the more options the bass have to use different water depths. That's why in real clear water, even all year long, you have a bunch of fish that are suspended. You have bass that are on the bottom. You have bass that are anywhere between 0 to 40 foot of water. As the water gets dirtier, you don't have that. The fish don't have that many options. Fall time of the year is the same. For me, the water clarity in the fall transition is sort of similar to the summertime. If I want to fish shallow, say if I want to fish up in the backs of the coves and the creeks where the shad start moving, again, I'm looking for that dirtier off-colored water. Those bigger fish are going to feel more comfortable in that dirty water. And if I want to fish clearer water, this is the time of year I like to fish more towards the lower end of the lake, and I want to get into that clear water, because in the fall time of the year, those bass that were deeper in the summertime tend to come up a lot of times, and like topwater fishing is a great way to catch them. If you've got dropping water temperatures and you've got clear water in the fall time of the year, there's going to be some type of a topwater bite. And then wintertime has the biggest impact as far as the water clarity goes. In the wintertime, you're going to find out that your dirty water visibilities are not very good. Anytime that water temperature gets below 50 degrees and it's fallen below 50, those fish just simply don't bite that good in off-colored water. Now, if it's rising, if it's rising up to 50 or above, it has the opposite effect. But in the winter time of the year, I'm looking for the cleanest water in the lake. I want to find that clear water, because those fish are going to be more aggressive. They feed more, keenly on sight, and I'm looking for both those suspended and bottom oriented fish. So that's a quick overview, guys. That is like a super quick overview. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these tips in there, because we can go into such depth on talking about water clarities in relationship to the water level and the water temperatures. This is going to be a great topic. I'll probably try to divide them up individually, and then I'll maybe do a series of tips on situational techniques that work when you have those three combinations. But basically what we're getting at here is what I want to get at is you need to learn as far as the techniques you want to fish based upon the season and the water clarities available in your lake. Every lake across the country has different clarities and different tints. For example, if you're fishing in the southeast, lakes that have a lot of grass in it, Florida lakes, clear water can have a black tannic look to it. If you're fishing out west in some of the more lakes that have a more alkaline content, like Lake Mead, Lake Powell, they tend to have a bluish clear tint. Here in Missouri, we have a clear water, but we've got a greenish tint. So, and if you go up like to Lake St. Clair up on the Great Lakes, it's got like a aqua blue look, and it's clear. So and it's the same with all different clarities. It's the same with 3 foot of visibility, 12 inches of visibility, or 20 feet of visibility. Every body of water, based upon the nutrients that come into the lake and the composition of the bakes, have a different water tint as far as the clarity that it has. So we just got a bunch of topics to talk here. This is something that's going to keep us busy for a long time. But anyway, I hope that didn't confuse everybody too much. I just wanted to throw this out there and get it started to get a foundation. We'll be back moving forward with different, conversations on this topic. It was a great suggestion from the subscriber that brought this up because it has everything to do. And I'll say one more time, guys, you need to become a student of water visibility, water clarity, and water levels. And one of the things I will say about this channel, and I sort of want to reiterate this, the videos that I do that I give away like a secret bait modification, those are the videos that gets lots of views. But when I'm talking about more subtle stuff like water clarities, water visibility, the mental aspect, those videos don't get as much views, but they are the most important videos. They absolutely are. It's just like, if I could stress anything to you guys that are watching this channel of mine, when I start talking about the mental aspect of fishing, and I start talking about bass movements and bass patterns and stuff that has to do environmentally, those are the videos you guys need to tune into, because those are the ones that are going to make the biggest impact in your fishing. You're going to allow yourself to make quantum leaps in your skill level, versus me just telling you how to customize a certain soft plastic lure. You're going to grow to snail's pace with that information, even though it is valuable, compared to this stuff that I'm talking about, learning about becoming a student of the bass and, a student of the environment they live in. So anyway, that's the start for it. We'll be back with many, many more on this. Thanks again, guys, for tuning into the channel. Much appreciated, and we'll talk soon.